Round 8 of the Chess Olympiad 2024, and it was a sweet, bitter day for Indian chess. Why? Because in the open section, the men completely demolished their opponents, and in the women, it was a heartbreaking loss. How did it all pan out? I'm going to tell you all about it in this Ambit Recap of the day. Team India was up against Iran in this round in the open section, and Iran was just 1 point behind on the leaderboard. The match was going to be exciting, but India was the favorite on paper on each and every board. But guess what? The Iranian team had not lost a single game in their all 4 players who were playing here. Let's first begin with the game of Arjun Erigaisi, because it was the first decisive game of the day. He was up against Danishwar Bardia, and we come into this position. It's very complicated. You can see the complete tension. Only one pair of pawns have been traded. Here, Arjun took on d5. His opponent took back, and he played his bishop to g4. And now his threat is knight e2 with a fork. I was wondering what will his opponent play here to stop that. But Danishwar surprised me totally by the move bishop e3. I was like, wow, doesn't Arjun now have the chance to play knight e2 check, takes, bishop e2 and get a complete exchange? Well, turns out that after rook f2, the bishop goes back, and then after queen takes e5, white has a decent position. So Arjun actually recognizes this, and here first takes this on h4, which is a good move, and after g takes h4, now on the next move is a brilliant one. He did not give this check. Again, he plays this phenomenal move f5, and I'm such a big fan of this move. This is so amazing thinking, and this is what makes Arjun 2790. This is what makes him world number 4. The threat now is to play f4, and if you now take here, then I am going in with a check, takes, bishop takes, rook f2, bishop comes back, and after queen takes e5, you can now play rook f5, and black is completely winning. And with this, Arjun actually managed to win the game and score this victory 1-0 for Team India. We now go to the second board. Praggnanandhaa was up against Amin Tabatabai, and Prag is so well prepared in the opening that this game came as a big surprise, because right here Prag got into immense difficulty. He's white, black has a decent position, but Amin finds a fantastic move, knight b4. This is a very, very powerful move, because Prag went queen b3, but now take here. First he took the bishop, king takes, and he took here. And now the problem is this piece is hanging. So it happened, takes, rook takes d2, and now knight c2 is a big threat. So queen takes b4, and here already black was in the driver's seat. I think very accurately, if knight g4 was played, I guess Praggnanandhaa would have been in some trouble here, because if queen takes b7, you have this very strong move f4, the rook being here, the other rook activating from here, the knight being here, and the queen coming up would have been very dangerous. But as it turns out, he played queen c6 check, king g1, knight d5, and after trade, it later ended in a draw. So Prag managed to save himself, and the score was now 1.5 in the favor of India. We come to the next board here. This game has its own story arc. There were so many ups and downs between Gukesh and Parham Maksudlu. Oof. Well, we can't go into all of that. I will be doing the entire game recap later on the channel. But for now, let's enter at this critical moment. I feel that this position is so complicated, but white, Parham Maksudlu, is holding his own. He just needs to start pushing his pawns, and the position is complicated. But instead, he blunders big time. He plays the move knight c4, and here his thought was the queen is hanging, so he must do something about it. Gukesh takes, queen takes, rook takes d8 happens, he takes back, and now queen takes e5, and here you can see Gukesh on the video. He was like, what's happening? How is Parham making this big blunder? It's black to play and win. And Gukesh finds this very nice move, rook d1, and after this queen f1 is coming in. It's game over. There is nothing that can be done here. In fact, there were some moves that were played. I think rook b7. I'm not. If check, then king would go to h7. So Gukesh just went in here, check, king here, and I think rook d5 came in, and the game was lost. It was very, very big mistake that was made by Parham in this position, and knight c4 just turned it around completely. Gukesh managed to win this game, and he moves on to 5.5 out of 6, is it? Or yes, I think 6.5 out of 7 here. He's just playing insane chess, and that sealed the victory for India. But Vidit was still pending here, and Vidit finds this amazing move here against Idani Poya. Vidit comes all guns blazing into this game, plays the Sicilian, reaches this position, and here I was wondering what is Vidit going to do next, and guess what he plays? He plays this fantastic move a3. I was like, what is happening? Because ba3 is impossible, queen is hanging. The point is, you want to play f4, and then you want to play ab and trap the queen. That's as simple as that. In fact, you can even play ab4, queen e5 only move, and f4. The queen is trapped. So here he played the move knight d7, Vidit played f4, and he was already winning. There's no way to stop it. Some moves played e5, ab4, bishop takes e4, check, rook takes, queen d5, but now Vidit gave back the piece, queen d3, knight f6, take, g5, and here white is completely winning. Pawn up, this is weak, king is trapped, and Vidit went on to win. This gave India a 3.5 win over the formidable Iran team, and with this India now gains a lead in this tournament by massive 2 points. We will come to this later. Let's first now go and check the games in the women's section. It was a very, very exciting day of chess here. What happened here was Vaishali, who had an excellent position against Monika Sochko, something went wrong with her here. Her opponent played the move king f7, and if Vaishali plays king f2, the position should most likely end in a draw here, because the rook can come back or the king can move front. But she played the move rook c5. Very curious. Monika played rook b2, gave a check here, and now king h2. She played rook c2, and now king g3, h5 was played, rook c5, h4, king takes, and d2, and it was already over. Rook c1 was coming in, and Vaishali resigned the game. It's completely just from an equal position, or you can say slightly worse position. Within a few moves, Vaishali was totally lost. So that gave India a 1-0 deficit in the match. But then Divya got a breakthrough here on board number 3. She was playing against Alexandra Maltsevskaya. The position was equal. Alexandra took here, king takes, and I thought, okay, this is normal position. If white plays queen d4, it should end in a draw. But instead, she played bishop e4. What is the point of this move? She just blundered this pawn. Divya chopped it off and later went on to win a very, very simple game. So this was actually a big win here for India. And then we go to Harika's game, because now it's 1-1. Harika is playing here against Alina Kashlinskaya. On the last board, Vantika is playing against Alicia Slivica. This was actually a key game, I would say, and not at all easy. So here Harika is playing with black. Her pawn is going this way. White pawns are coming here. Taking this is not possible because of king f3. So she plays the move rook e1, and here king f3 was the best, but she plays rook f6, king e7 and rook f3. And here Harika finds the best move. She plays rook g1, very nice move. The threat now is if you play rook g3, takes, bishop takes, check, king takes and king d7, and you bring your queen here and it's a draw. So this was a great defensive effort by Harika, but after this her opponent played check, king h5. Harika again found the best move, knight e1, rook came here to f5, knight came to c2, bishop b6, and here I think the move king e6 should have been played, because king e6 you are not really threatening to take. Rook takes, king takes, knight e3, and it's again a draw because king comes to the corner. So after king e6 it would have been very tough for the game to for Alina to win, but as it turns out she played here g4, and after e4, a5, a6, this started coming up. So like rook e1, a5, and the a pawn became just too strong. The lights have been switched off. This gave India a 2-1 deficit, and now we turn to the final game. It was filled with so much excitement because Vantika had a winning position, and a draw would have been fine for Team India, because then, I mean, a win for Vantika would be like 2-2, and then you have already 2 points lead in the tournament. It would be just perfect. But in this position, what just happened was Vantika played the move king g2, and she's winning here because she has a beautiful bishop, queen here, rook nicely placed, and the pawn running down. Her opponent played queen a8, and now there are many moves that win here for white. It's not simple with time pressure, but something like bishop c4 is not at all bad. The point is you can't take here because of check, rook goes back, takes, and checkmate. So that's the reason why this pawn is not possible to be taken, which means that a6 is coming next. As it turns out, Vantika, who was by now under a lot of pressure, plays queen e4, and her opponent instantly chops it off. And this is where Vantika realizes that bishop c2, her idea to checkmate here, was completely foiled because of queen d5, and the queen is pinned, and at this point of time the game is now drawn because the key pawn has been lost. Vantika here had to draw the game, which means India succumbed to its first match defeat in this tournament. But the good news is that Team India are still in the lead. We now go over to the leaderboard of the tournament. The leaderboard is brought to you by Ambit, which is a leader in financial advice and capital. Team India in the open section is completely dominating. It's right there at the top with 16 match points, but right below it are two teams with 14 points, Uzbekistan and Hungary. And India takes on Uzbekistan in the next round, and this is going to be an epic encounter because on the top board we will have Gukesh versus Nodirbek Abdusattorov. There will be Praggnanandhaa versus Yakuboyev. It's going to be tremendous, this entire matchup. In the women's section, India is in the lead, but now with two more teams. We have the Kazakh team which has joined on 14 points, and also the Polish team who just beat us. So tomorrow Kazakhstan and Poland face off against each other, and India takes on USA. Well, the US team has a nice balance of experience and youth, but Team India can try and beat them. We still have chances for a double gold. We'll be waiting. For now, this is Sagar Shah signing off. Bye bye.